It's been said that history repeats itself. So how much do you know about St. Lucie County's history? Find out next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to take a stroll down memory lane with St. Lucie County Commissioner Kathy Townsend. But before we bring out our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners. The Oxbow Eco Center is once again holding its annual Earth Day celebration on Saturday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with live music, environmental education, food vendors, and more. The Oxbow is located at 5400 Northeast St. James Drive in Port St. Lucie. For details, visit oxboweco.com. Come out and celebrate the Oxbow's 20 years of environmental education. Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works. For the 9th month in a row, St. Lucie County's tourism figures continue to set record numbers, with December's bed tax collection coming in at 76% higher than December 2020 and 46% higher than collections in 2019. Overall building activity in unincorporated St. Lucie County rose again in December, with 928 permits being submitted compared to November's 859 permits. The housing market isn't slowing down. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County in December was $334,950, up 24% from last year, while condo values rose by 5% with the median price at $250,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate remained flat in December at 4.1% compared to November. Statewide, the unemployment rate dropped to 3.2%. The largest increase in the labor force on the Treasure Coast was in professional services with 4,200 new jobs, followed by leisure and hospitality with 2,900 new jobs, and construction and trades with 1,200 new jobs. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie, and I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commissioner Kathy Townsend. Commissioner, thanks so much for joining me on the show today. And you wanted to talk a little bit about history, and then the county doesn't have an official historian per se, at least not on staff. We've got the volunteers at the Regional History Center that are a wealth of knowledge, but I did get to work on the county centennial back in 2005, so I know a little bit about the county's history. Let's see how much you know about it.
Let's see how much you know since you worked on the centennial
board.
Board.
I know a lot if I can look at my notes. I know where to find the information.
Well, that would be me too. And you know what? We do have some staff members here that are part of the Historical Society.
Yeah?
We do. We have some employees. Betty in mosquito control.
Yep.
She's very knowledgeable about the county.
She is, yep.
Yes.
So let's first start with, for those that don't know, when was the county founded and who are our original commissioners? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but I do know a couple of them.
Okay.
I do know that the county was formed in 1905.
Yep.
We're 116 years old, and when we first were originally formed, we were not St. Lucie County, just us. We actually went as far south, I believe, as Palm Beach County, and as far north as Brevard. And then at some point, I also think Okeechobee was a part of us as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Originally, St. Lucie County was pretty much all the Treasure Coast.
Right. So then at that point in time, it kind of shrunk down.
Yep. We lost Okeechobee in 1917.
Right. And then I also know that we were also known as the Mosquito County.
Way before that.
Way before even that.
Yep.
And then there was a sitting governor.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name was John Martin, and he wanted a county named after him. And that is when the boundary lines to the south changed, and that's when Martin County was formed because the governor wanted a county named after him, so that became Martin County. And then round about that same time, the line to the north got drawn, and then that became Indian River County.
Yeah, 1925.
1925.
So their
there you go.
centennials are coming up.
Historians, there you go. 1925 is when we broke away and we became our own little area that we exist today.
And what's interesting too, I read Indian River just formed their own county because they didn't like the blue laws. They wanted to have businesses closed on Sundays.
Correct. Yeah, I
and
heard
St.
that.
Lucie wanted to keep businesses open, and so.
Well, but if you really think about it, up until probably 4 or 6 years ago, there were still areas in the city of Fort Pierce that still could not do alcohol until after, what was it, noon on Sundays.
Yeah.
And so recently, probably in the last 4 years, maybe 5, they finally changed that ordinance that now it's 7 days a week.
Yeah, that always confused me. I worked at a grocery store, and they used to give those spot checks on Sundays. We couldn't sell it before 1
Right.
when I was, which I thought, what difference does it make if I buy it at 10 or buy it at 2 in the afternoon?
Well, and I can remember being in the grocery store and somebody buying beer and the clerk saying, you can't have that, you can't buy that till after 1 o'clock, and they get really angry and they're like, but I can go 2 miles down the road and get it. And that was the argument
Sure.
back a couple of years ago, that the businesses were saying, well, listen, we're losing our customers because they can go to Vero Beach to Riverside Cafe on a Sunday and have a Bloody Mary, but they can't come to Little Jim and have a beer, right? So that's when that changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we did have one of our governors that was when the governor's board. That's how Martin County got formed.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite facts about the county's history is one of our first commissioners was a German immigrant named Paul Krogel. And he was from Sebastian, and he was instrumental in getting the first national wildlife refuge, Pelican Island.
I did read that, and I can see why you would be interested in that, because you do like that.
I do like the environment.
But you know what I think is interesting? I do have in my notes. Let's go back and talk about who were the first 5 county commissioners. Let's pick that up. So the first commissioners of St. Lucie County, because I think there might be some people interested in that, was W.R. Hardy, K.B. Rollerson, J.F. Bell, R.D. Holmes, P. Krogel, which you mentioned. And I think it's also interesting to note that our very first county administrator that we had in the county, actually prior to being hired as the first county administrator, was actually a sitting county commissioner.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
I thought that was
too.
interesting to find that news out.
And there's
there.
only been, 9 county administrators?
9.
Right? Yep.
Or county attorneys.
No, county administrators.
Yes.
Attorneys was a little different. I talked to Dan McIntyre, who I thought was our first attorney.
Yeah, I think everybody would think that, right? But no, there was.
But I guess Speedy, not Speedy Fee, but Speedy Fee's dad, I think, was one of the first attorneys. He was on contract.
And so, right, he was on contract with the county. And today, still currently, Speedy Fee, which his actual legal name is Frank Fee, but everybody in the area knows him as Speedy.
Sure.
He still does do some legal work for the county and consulting and stuff, so he is still involved.
And the family name, there's Fee Road, right? Will Fee Road.
Yes,
Some of those names, Bell is another name, and
Yes.
Rollison is another name that's been in the county for a long time.
So those are all, names that a lot of things are named after here. So yeah, so I thought it was interesting. And in 1959, it was C.F. Ordway. That was the commissioner
that became
the first county administrator.
Yeah. And it's surprising that, because nowadays, the life of a city manager, county manager is what, 5 year average? They
4 to
I shouldn't
5
say
years.
life, but stint at a local government, it tends to turn
And
over.
I think the first county attorney was Wilson. I don't know why. I think it was Wilson.
Yeah. But that turns over a lot. And I've been here 19 years now, and we've only had 3 administrators in the time that I've been here. Because Doug Anderson was here for a good 17 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I remember people before Doug.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a lot older than you.
Not a lot.
Oh, quite a bit, Eric.
My body's a lot older. My mental health is probably a lot younger. But now let's talk about the airport, because the airport's been around for a while.
Since 1921.
Yep.
Yes, and so I know that there's a lot of names out there at the airport that the roads have been named after, but realistically, the airport dated back to 1921. The first property purchased to designate it as airport, I believe, was 1,500 acres. Currently today, we have right at 4,000, and I know that there was a point in time when there was a sitting board that finally started to get the interest in the airport. It never really took off. It kind of died and fizzled again. And in the last 5 years, there's been the interest of this board in making the airport go. And I think finally, for the first time since 1921, we're actually going to have a legitimate airport. You know, the MRO hangar, hopefully we'll have a tenant in it. And there's going to be some new hangars built out there. We have a new FBO out there. So I think we have a new logo. We have a new logo coming. We have a website that's coming up for the airport. And so I think for the first time in the history of this county, we're actually going to have an official, real airport.
And
That's
again,
exciting.
a lot of you mentioned names. You know, Curtis King Terminal is named after one of the first. He was probably the first airport director out there.
He was.
And was instrumental in buying a lot of that land. You know, which again, the future forward thinking of let's buy this before it gets turned into
Right,
houses.
could you imagine if we had to go in there and buy the land now, and then, you know, God forbid, what if that was all built up in homes?
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't have an airport here in St. Lucie County because, you know, it would all be built from, you know, from homes.
And even though it doesn't have commercial service at this time, I think people would be surprised at how much traffic it did for a general aviation airport. There is a lot of flights take off.
There's a lot of traffic because there's a lot of people that clear customs. We have a customs
Yep.
there. There's a lot of people that clear customs. They're coming from the Bahamas. And John Travolta he's in and out of our airport quite frequently. It's not unusual to see him. Dr. Oz has been known to come into this area. He actually owns property in Okeechobee County. You know, there's some popular names, I'm not going to mention them all, that actually between here and Okeechobee have purchased land and they're residents of Okeechobee. So they do come into the area. One of them does a lot of business out at Best Choice Meats.
Okay.
Yes, so our little, you know, there's people that I think kind of get frustrated with the growth because we are growing
Yep.
and they like the charm of what we had, and I like the charm too. I mean, I'm one of those people, I'm not really like, I don't want all the growth happening either,
Sure.
really, but some of it's good, and you know, as long as it's done right and planned right, that's all all good.
I was thinking about that recently, and I don't know if it's just an American thing but we have this mentality of, well, I was here first and my family's here, so I don't want any more people to come, you know, and everybody has the same property rights as you did.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I say to people,
Yeah.
is, you know, I don't like the growth any more than you do. I don't like having to sit at a red light and wait
Or at the top of the bridge to
30
get over,
minutes
yeah.
to go through it. So
Sure.
I'm there with you.
Yeah, yeah.
However, it's property rights, and people have sat on this property, and now they're selling the property, and people that own the property, if it meets code or it's zoned properly, you have to let them build. And your only option is, this is when sprawling other counties begin. That's what happened to us. Palm Beach became big and busy. They bypassed the Martin County and now they're here.
Yep.
So now what's going to happen is people that still want to be in the country and people that still want their privacy in that little sleepy little town, they're going to go to the wonderful, charming town of Okeechobee. One of my favorite towns ever.
Yeah.
Love the commissioners over there. I actually have a place in Okeechobee. And I try to sneak away every now and then to go over there. And I have to tell you, that's what we were. And so
Sure.
they're going to sprawl and they're going to grow like we are today, 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
And so it's here and it's coming. There's not anything we can do about it.
Yep. Now, since you mentioned some famous people, let's talk about some famous celebrities that over the years that have come from St. Lucie County,
Celebrities?
or just famous folks. I
Well, I don't. You're going to have to help me on that one. I could say that Kalo Mack.
Okay, yep.
He was
Yep,
a young man that grew up here, went on
Yep.
to become a wonderful football player, and he's actually coming back to town. He's actually purchased real estate here. He's investing in the downtown area.
Yeah.
He owns several buildings down there, and he's giving back to the community. We have Rick Ankiel, the baseball player, wonderful man. You know, grew up
Cardinals,
here, went away to play for the Cardinals, and
Another
we
baseball
have-
player, Johnson.
Yep.
Played for the Marlins.
Johnson, and then we have the Highwaymen artist and Beanie Backus, who are nationally known artists. And the Highwaymen, you know, it started off, I believe there were 7 or 8 of them, and then several others joined the Highwaymen. But they are nationally known. I mean,
Yeah.
James Gibson was consigned to do pieces for the White House.
Yeah. And even some of their works have been featured in movies. The
Yes.
Catch Me If You Can with
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio. And I heard an ad on the radio recently. It was a Highwaymen appraisal event, and they were saying they were getting, you know, $4,000 to $6,000 per painting, you know, for some of these.
The
That
Highwaymen-
sold for $20 out of the back of a car. you know.
Yes, and I have several of their paintings,
nice.
actually. Yes, I do. I have the original Highwaymen. I have one from each of them.
Oh, wow.
And I have a large one from James Gibson. signed from him. So they did beautiful artwork. I have some of the original ones that they sold out of the back of their cars. And then I have some that they've painted through the years, you know, for nonprofits to be given to auctions.
And stuff,
yes.
yeah. And
So-
then you mentioned Bacchus. He kind of mentored them, and he was here, you know, obviously before, well, maybe not before some of the Highwaymen, but helped mentor them through the years and get their art crafted. And he was also friends with Zora Neale Hurston, who wasn't from here, but spent the last few years of her life.
She actually came here, and this is where she ended up. This is where she settled and landed. And when she was here, she did go in and have a brief time where she taught at Lincoln Park.
Yep.
And
Worked for a local newspaper.
and worked for the Chronicles.
Yep.
And then passed away, and she's buried here.
Yep.
And I actually am honored that I know her daughter, Lucy.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'm sorry, not her daughter, her niece.
Yep.
Yes. And so her niece wrote a book about 10 years ago about her aunt. And it's a history, and you know, you have the dust trails, and we have a library named after her. And so, yes, so Zora is a part of this community. I'm trying to think, I don't know that we have any people here that went on to become movie stars.
Megan Fox.
She's from St. Lucie
Port
County.
St. Lucie, yeah. She was a Port St. Lucie
I
student.
do
Yeah.
remember reading something about that.
Yeah.
We have to have Megan come to our town for
We
something.
should, yeah.
We need to get a hold of her.
Get her to do some spots on SLC TV.
We do. We need to
Tell
do
us
that.
how the Transformers really work.
That's right. We do. I didn't remember that, but I do remember reading that.
Yep. And we had a governor from our area.
We did at McCarty,
Yep.
which the McCarty family is very much here and a part of the community today. Mike McCarty, land planner. You know, he's still here with his family.
Middle school, right? Named Dan
McCarty Middle School, yes. That's how that school got named. It was named after him. He also was a governor. He went into office. He served 1 year and had a heart attack, unfortunately, and died. But you know, again, it was another person from here that was a governor of the state of Florida.
Yeah. And then let's switch to, we did talk about baseball, so
We did.
let's talk about the Mets, because
Okay.
everyone kind of, this time of year especially, you know, the date lines from spring training, hopefully spring training
It's
gets
going to
underway.
happen, right?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, so I think most people here know how that originated in St. Lucie County, but we can talk about it.
Sure.
It was Thomas White, a developer that came into town, I believe, in like 1988. And to come here to develop, he wanted to get back to the community, and so he donated the land. The stadium was built, and that's when the New York Mets and their spring training became a part of this. And today it exists as Clover Park.
Yeah. And then we've locked them into another 25-year contract.
And it's important to note that that is not paid for by our tax. It is paid by taxes,
Sure.
but it's paid by the tourist tax. So the tourists that come to St. Lucie County, on the tourist tax that's collected, that part, 4 cents of the 5 cents collected goes to pay for that stadium.
Yep,
It doesn't
that's
come out
in
of the
operations,
right.
yep.
Yes.
And it's interesting too, because I did have some reporters calling and asking about, well, if spring training doesn't happen, will the tour? And right now, tourism for the
It's
last
up more than it's ever been.
9 months, they've set record levels.
Yes.
So, and I said not to disrespect baseball, but we'll be fine without spring training this year,
No,
just
and
because
we
people
would
are.
be,
yeah.
you know what, I hate to say this, it's going to be a negative,
Yeah.
but we would be fine without the Mets being here, simply because we have other things here like the Navy SEAL Museum. There is a lot of people that come here just to visit our Navy SEAL Museum. And with everything else going on and the water park that's coming and everything, we need more motels. If we had more development come in and build motels, then our tourist tax would go up. So we would be fine without a baseball team here, but at the same time, it is one of the reasons why there are people that do come here. And there's a lot of people here that love the Mets. I
Yeah.
love going to the games.
Oh, absolutely.
I grew up
Yeah.
going to the baseball games with my dad, so it's a part of my childhood memory. So I enjoy it.
And like I said, a lot of those Mets fans probably have that second week in March booked to come down anyway, and it's freezing cold up there, so why not come down?
Right.
And
And I'm glad they're here. Don't misunderstand me.
No,
I am
yeah,
glad
yeah,
they're
yeah,
here.
exactly.
And
That's what I was
and I enjoy
relating to
going to the games.
reporter,
But what
sure.
I'm relating to is you, as I'm sure,
Yeah,
is that,
yeah.
you know, it's not going to affect our tourist tax, them being down, although I am ready for them to begin playing the games.
Yes, it'd be
Yes.
fun to go, especially as beautiful the weather has been. Let's talk about you mentioned the Navy SEAL Museum. Let's talk about the military history. How did the SEAL Museum become located here? in
There
St.
was
Louis County?
a Navy team that settled. There was a little Navy base that settled here, and when they settled, it was around about the Little Gym area. It became Dynamite Point.
Because they used to blow stuff up.
Right, and actually the inlet where it is today is not the original inlet.
You're right.
The original inlet actually veered more to the north and was more to
Near
where the
Pepper
Navy SEAL
Park,
Museum
yeah.
by Pepper Park. And so those men were the Frogmen, which is the Navy SEAL team. And so that is how the Navy SEAL actually went to Pepper Park into county state land and opened up the museum, which if you've never been, you need to go. It's quite impressive what
Yeah.
they do over there. And they get bigger and better every year. They keep adding things, and the crew that operates over there, they do a wonderful, wonderful
Yeah,
job.
it's interesting because I think from like the early 40s, there were 130,000 officers stationed here over that 3 or 4 year
Yes.
time frame, and they were training for, because I guess our beaches were similar to Normandy. So I usually
Correct.
like to say Fort Pierce helped win World War II.
Yeah,
You know?
and we very well could have, but
Yeah.
that to me, the Navy SEAL muster that happens every year in November, that's always a part of history that I love about this community. And you go over there and you see the Navy SEALs that are currently serving, and you see the ones that have served past, and you get to meet them. And I used to have the bed and breakfast on North Beach, and they all stayed with me. And so that was my favorite time of year, because they would come, they'd sit around the table, and when everybody would kind of reminisce about the days that they were in the Navy and the things that happened, and to hear those stories. And do you remember Rudy on Survivor?
I do. Yeah.
He has got some, he's unfortunately moved on to be
Yeah.
with the Lord, but he had the best stories. He stayed with me at the Mullen Patch.
Cool.
And so that's just some of the history here that I really love hearing about. And when the Navy SEALs come to town, they sit there and they talk about their stories. And I was blessed to have Rudy stay with me for many years over there when he would come. So
And they still find some of those mines every now and then, from Vero Beach down to
Yeah,
Jensen,
you do.
that wash up on the beaches. So.
yeah.
Let's talk about, obviously everyone, I think most people know this trivia fact, but how did the Treasure Coast get its name?
Well, I think that they do know that. Of course, it's because all the Spanish ships
Yeah.
sank from Cocoa to here. And even currently today, you can every once in a while find a doubloon.
I have yet to find
Run
one.
up
I've been
on-
diving for 10 years and I keep looking for
I
it.
have to tell
but-
you, my son found one about 2 years ago.
Really? That's awesome.
He did.
Now on the beach? Or?
On the beach.
Okay. Because I even was watching I don't remember if it was Discovery or one of those Nat Geo, and they were thinking that some of the treasure may be more in the Indian River Lagoon, because several hundred years ago, maybe,
Well, and the city just had a revealing of a
Yep.
cannon recently too. So yes, there are still pieces that, especially in bad storms, that things are still floating up
yeah,
over
because
there.
it was, I think the value was something like $2 million or something ridiculous.
Yes, it was crazy.
14 million pesos worth of gold. I don't know
Yes.
what that equates to in today's time. But.
Well, somebody that's out there watching, email me or email Eric and tell us what that equivalent.
Yeah, we can
equivalates
look
to.
it up on
We
Google
want to
later.
know what it is. Right?
So what else, Eddie? You have some interesting information
I do.
about some
So
residents.
when I decided that I wanted to talk about the history of St. Lucie County on my show, I decided I wanted to find, or try to find, who was the oldest living resident in St. Lucie County. And so, of course, the wonderful thing of social media is you put it out there and people call and whatever. So I'm not saying that this person I located is the oldest person in
Sure.
St. Lucie County,
The oldest one you found.
but it's the oldest one that I have found through everybody that's reached out to me to tell me, hey, did you know, so, to tell me the names and for me to
Sure.
research. And lo and behold, I think it's going to be really important to note that this lady, her family lives here. She still lives here. She's 104.
Oh, wow.
And she was very, very, very instrumental in this community for the Hispanics. She is the young lady that actually had the St. Anastasia Church bring in a Spanish congregation. She helped bring the first Spanish, congregation and church here. She was very, very involved at the college. And her name is Frances Hernandez Hughes.
Okay.
So does that name ring a bell?
It does. Hernandez, though.
Yeah, so a lot of people knew her. She actually taught one of our commissioners at St. A's, Commissioner Hutchinson.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Look at that.
she taught Franny at St. A's. She immigrated here in 1953. She went to Miami, and then from Miami came up. She has 3 daughters, I believe, and her daughters are very engaged in the community. And her granddaughter is Stephanie West, who a lot of people know.
That name sounds familiar.
And so I
Whoop.
that wasn't
That's okay.
good. So I believe you're showing her picture.
Yeah, we can put
The picture is going to be up. So just some of the highlights is that in the 70s and 80s, she helped Mexican families learn the English language. She helped teach that at IRSC. She was there for 30 years.
Awesome.
She was also contacted by the state of Florida to be the director of the Indian River Education Program. She was the first public partnership to create a migrant preschool program for the children. She petitioned the bishop, like I said, at St. Anastasia's and brought in the first Hispanic church. And she received the Champion for Children Power of One Award from the Florida Association of State and Federal Education Administrators. And she's also the first and only person to ever have the Indian River State College Lifetime Service Award presented by President Dr. Massey.
Oh, wow.
So I could go on. Her
Yeah.
family was very gracious to me to share
That's
many,
awesome.
many pages with her and pictures. I'm actually going to be giving her a proclamation to be the oldest resident in St. Lucie County. I'm excited about that. And, you know, Dr. Singh's very involved too with our military, and he's very good at finding people that have served in the wars or whatever, and they're usually like 100, 101 or
Sure.
whatever. So she's 104, just turned 104 in December.
Awesome. Now, where do you think the oldest house is?
And well, let me just tell you, because a lot of people know her in the community as Mita.
Mita.
Mita. So I think we really need to recognize her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So we talked about
The
the
oldest house.
resident, the oldest house.
The oldest house in the county, I would say, would be downtown,
Okay.
the Boston House.
I don't know.
Or
I
the
thought
P.P.
it was.
Cobb
It
building?
used to be in St. Lucie Village, or there was a house in the village, and I don't know if it's still there or not. But that at one point, when I did the centennial, that was the oldest structure that was
There
still there.
there is a house down there by the monument in St. Lucie Village.
Yeah.
That is a historical home.
Yeah.
It's down there off of Chamberlain.
Yeah, because some of those houses I think predate the county's.
They do.
Yeah, the county's official. You know.
Well, you know, that's one of the things I love. I live in St. Lucie Village, and I do love the history there.
Yeah.
And there is some really old historical homes there that
Absolutely.
have been rehabbed and restored and everything. But there's some really nice houses in the
Yeah.
village.
And then I guess like downtown, there's the Seven Gables house.
There's
and
the P.P.
then
Cobb building, the
Cobb
Boston
building,
House.
yeah. Which I always wanted to turn that into a haunted Airbnb.
That would be
Wouldn't it
fun.
be fun? Like a year-round haunted house
Well,
that you could
speak
stay
about
in?
Speedy Fee. The building that he's in there on Avenue A, I believe, was one of the old historical homes
Yeah.
where his office is.
Yeah.
Because I know when they do the ghost tours, he is on the ghost tour because it is an old pioneer family that owned that house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Friends of the Library used to do this great book every year called the St. Lucie Almanac, and it was just kind of historical facts and figures, and they stopped doing it, I think, around 2005 for whatever reason, because I guess people don't check out books anymore, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I still have a copy in my office, and I go to it all the time when I'm looking up history stuff.
I do think that there's still, you know, like for example, Susan Grimes, wonderful, wonderful person. Like a year ago, her father was something to do with planning and zoning.
Okay.
And she came into my office and she said, I thought you'd appreciate this. She gave me the county's very first planning and zoning book.
Oh, wow.
I love it. It's awesome.
yeah.
It's the brown pages and
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely love it. It's in my office. And I thought, what a gift. I have just gotten some of the nicest things from residents.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm given something that's like got history behind it, because I really like planning
Sure.
anyways, whatever, I can't wait to someday have a spot in my house that I can like put that in a shadow box
Yeah.
and to be able to really preserve that and put that on a coffee table.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably one of the most meaningful things I think I've ever received as a gift. And it's got a lot of history to it, right? It's got a lot of our
Yeah.
comp plans and everything in there. So, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to make the show a little bit different.
Sure.
I didn't want to talk about something, you know, that's going on because I think the other commissioners have done a good job at covering that. I wanted to kind of make this about the history of St. Lucie County because I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to learn about the history. We have a lot of new residents here in the
Sure.
county now. And so I just kind of wanted to have fun with the show today,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you being open-minded and
Oh,
letting me do it.
anytime. I like I said, I'm fascinated by it. I didn't grow up here, but I've lived in this county longer than I've lived anywhere else in my life. So it is sort of, you know, my home. And like I said, working on the Centennial, I think I wrote 16,000 words a copy for, you know, about the Centennial. So in the history.
Well, you know,
of the
it's
county.
even like, it goes as far back as like St. Lucie County is also known by Adams Ranch. They're known throughout the United States. And Bud Adams was a well-known photographer of animals.
Yeah.
And so if you just keep digging and you just keep researching, you know, like the Peacock House that the city has had moved.
The crane, yeah.
The crane,
Yeah.
right? The Crane House on Orange
Yeah.
Avenue. There's a lot of really good history here.
Absolutely. And if you want to learn more, a great place to go is the Regional History Center, which was a partnership. The county owns that building, but volunteers from the Historical Society help run it.
And we have a great historical society here in
Yeah.
St. Lucie County, and a lot of those people are people that have actually, like Bob Davis,
Yeah.
tax collector.
Yeah.
He sits on the Historical Society. Jim, that was
Moses.
Jim
Yep.
Moses, who was involved with our health department for
For
many,
years,
many
yep.
years, him and his wife. I mean, you know, Betty Stark from mosquito control. You know, there's a lot of people involved in our historical society, and they have a lot of great information. They always they have a booth at the fair every year. Fair is
Yes,
coming up. It
it
opens
is,
up
yep.
this weekend,
Yeah.
and so you can visit them at the fair.
Yeah.
Go to the
For the sneak peek.
historical
Or stop
society
by
booth.
the real one. That's good. Like
Yeah.
you said, there's a lot of places to go get that history right here in St. Lucie County.
Yep.
Anything else you want to mention, Commissioner, looking ahead?
No, I just want to say that we're in a really good place here in St. Lucie County. I'm excited where we are going to go this year in 2022. And all of you out there, keep being awesome.
Yeah.
Because we have great residents.
Awesome. Well, don't appreciate your time.
Thank
Don't
you.
go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with a new segment that focuses on all the projects that our Public Works Department is completing. St. Lucie County's road and bridge crews will be working on 11 miles of Orange Avenue to include paving, installation of a new safety edge, reflective pavement markers, and guardrails from Graves Road to the Okeechobee County line. Work will take place during the day with flagmen directing temporary lane closures. This $4.2 million project is funded primarily through the 2018 voter-approved half-cent sales tax referendum. Contractors working on this project include Consor Engineers, Asphalt Paving Systems, TRP Construction, and Southeast Highway Guardrails and Attenuators. The entire project is expected to be completed before September 2022. Now that the Florida Department of Transportation has finished its widening project on Midway Road, St. Lucie County will use sales tax revenue to complete road reclamation, including milling and repaving of 2 miles of Midway Road, along with a new guardrail over an asphalt barrier on the north side of Midway Road from McCarty Road to Shin Road to enhance safety and maintenance features along the canal side. Work will also include an upgrade of the traffic signal video detection cameras at the intersections of Oleander, Sunrise, 25th Street, Selvets, Torino, Glades Cutoff, I-95 northbound ramp, and I-95 southbound ramp. Contractors working on this $1.7 million project include Culpeper Turpinning, Asphalt Paving Systems, TRP Construction, Southeast Highway Guardrail and Attenuators, and Jarrell Traffic Controls. Traffic safety improvements are underway on Indian River Drive from Walton Road to Midway Road, including pavement edge repairs, pavement markings and stripings, and the installation of dynamic speed feedback signs that post vehicles' current speed. Funding for this $1.2 million project comes from the general fund. These improvements are being made to help reduce speeding on Indian River Drive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Contractors working on this project include Johnson, Miriam, and Thompson, Asphalt Paving Systems, TRP Construction, and Jarrell Traffic Controls. St. Lucie County's Water Quality Division is wrapping up the Phase 1 improvements on the Melville Road Stormwater Project. As part of the Stormwater Project, work will also be done on Melville Road itself, from Ulrich to Gopher Ridge, to include repaving and shifting of a portion of the road slightly to the east, and a redesign of the drainage system, including the installation of 4 new cross pipes to the new pond, and a new swale pipe system in front of the homes in that area. This $1.9 million project is funded through the 2018 voter-approved half-cent sales tax referendum and a grant from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. The main contractor on this project is PRP Construction. Residents in Indian River Estates will notice major reprofiling of the swales inside the neighborhood. Work began in the southeast on Yucca Drive and will progress to the northwest over time. Lakewood Park residents will also see crews making swale improvements starting near Eastwood Drive, including the replacement of the old cross pipes that drain into the Eastwood Canal. Work will also take place on Ocala Drive, where the old drainage pipes and open swales will be updated. The swale work for both Indian River Estates and Lakewood Park is funded through the Stormwater MSTU Fund and has a $1 million operating budget for this fiscal year. The main contractor on both these projects is Environmental Land Development. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program relating to St. Lucie County government, Give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stluciegov. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at St. Lucie Gov, so we hope you'll follow us there. I'm your host, Eric Gill. For myself and the staff, thanks for watching.